I'm too sexy for my cosplay. I'm too sexy for my cosplay. On Cosplay Cafe. Yeah, I'm a cosplayer. You know what I mean. And I do my little turn on the con floor. Yeah, on the con floor. Oh, on the con floor. Yeah, I do my little turn on the con floor. And I'm too sexy for my cosplay. I'm too sexy for my cosplay. On Cosplay Cafe. And I'm too sexy for this song.
Huzzah and good morrow, Cosplay Cafe denizens. Tonight we are serving up a hot steaming cup of cosplay, Ren Fair style. So, my guest is Senna, aka Mary, and she is on the Ren Fair circuit. She's also on the con circuit. I met her last year. She's pretty awesome, lots of fun to be around, really creative, and she is just the perfect guide to the world of Renaissance Fair cosplay. So I'm going to bring her in. Senna, welcome.
Hey,
Hey, so
it's
first of
good
all,
to
I
meet
have
you.
to acknowledge we have one of our regulars, Carl Witzman, popped in to say good evening. Good evening, Carl.
Hi.
Carl's one of my favorites.
Oh, this is cool.
So why don't you tell people a little about yourself? Tell them how you got into cosplay and also how you got into the Renaissance Fair, which I feel like those are maybe two separate stories.
They are. So getting into cosplay goes way back to 2007, and it actually involves the late great Danny Rowland. She brought me into cosplay club at COD. I had no idea what the hell I was doing. I had no idea that any of this actually existed. I was just this little nerdy classic film fan. And they were like, "Oh yeah, there's this con, Anime Central. They have a singing competition." Okay, you kind of have me. You kind of got me. So ASIN was my first con. Like little fish, no clue what the heck I was doing. Really big pond, but all I knew is that I absolutely loved it. And I met a Reno at that convention who made things so much fun. We were actually reunited last year, both doing My Hero Academia. And when I realized that it was him, I broke down crying. I was like, "You are one of the big reasons why I keep doing conventions." And ASIN this year will be my 94th. Anime I will be my 95th. And I start the home sprint to hitting 100. But actually, Ren Fair, and if my parents are watching already, I'm not forgiving them for not taking me to Ren Fair earlier. But they went way eons ago once, like just street clothes, normal, when it was King Richard's Fair. And I guess my mom got heat stroke. How you get heat stroke at fair in summer, normal clothes, I don't know, but she did.
I mean,
but
you can.
So then I'm young. I like in junior high, I started reading fantasy books. I actually started with, where is it? I actually have it. I started with Tamara Pierce. This is literally my first ever fantasy book, and I love it. So I started reading her books. I started really getting into fantasy, got into Lord of the Rings. Like, I saw like ads for this Renaissance fair like everywhere when I was growing up. And I was like, this sounds kind of cool. But like at the time, like no one I knew went because none of us had cars. Who would drive up to Wisconsin? So in 2008, my boyfriend said, well, he wasn't even my boyfriend at the time. We were still friends. We started dating later for a little bit. But my friend at the time, Apollo, and his late, great, wonderful badass of a mom, took me to Bristol for the first time. I actually wore my Tomoe from Samurai X kimono. I didn't even have like garb yet. And I loved it. I loved Ren Fair. I started going like once a year after that. And then like somewhere around, I want to say like, I think 2019, like somewhere around 2017, I started making friends, like more friends at fair and stuff. So I started going a little more regular. And then 2019, I went almost every weekend. 2021, I ended up having friends of fair. And then 22, I was offered the job at the Hookah Lounge.
Nice. So that's when you know you're in.
That's when I knew I was in. So like, over a decade and hundreds of dollars of garb later, I work there now and I absolutely adore working there. I just got the call from my wonderful boss, James, that I will be working again this year at Ren Fair. So come say hi to me at the Hookah Lounge. I work from about 11 to, so I work from an hour after open until close. We are right next to the Three Sheets to the Wind Tavern. So I had to put the little right there.
Well, and congratulations on that. Also, if anyone out there has not been to Bristol Renaissance Fair,
you need to go.
You need to.
And if you don't have Bristol money, there's a smaller fair in Oregon, Illinois called Stronghold. That is an absolute blast. It's in a bloody castle.
Oh, I need to go to that one.
It is so much fun. I love it because it's it's during Columbus Day weekend. So like you got that fall feel. It's so nice.
And then you don't overheat in the Ren Fair garb.
No, you don't. No, you really don't.
I really need to. I'm not sure if I'm free that weekend, but I need to check that out one of these days. But
it's a lot of fun. It's the Saturday and Sunday of Columbus Day weekend out in Stronghold. What is it? It's literally like Stronghold Castle. I think it's like Stronghold Retreat Center out in Oregon, Illinois. I cannot recommend it enough. It's a very small fair, but it's a lot of fun.
And so Donna Carleen, who is Carl's wife, they were saying hi to each other in the comments. Says in Illinois, I need more info. So I'm gonna get
it's in Oregon, Illinois. I'm sorry about that. Stronghold is in Oregon, Illinois. Ironically enough, from where I am here in Wheaton, it actually takes me longer to get to Stronghold than it takes me to get to Bristol.
Is it so? It's like Central Illinois.
It's like west of us. It's a little bit like northwest of us.
Okay. Carl knows already. There we go. So we're at, but back to Bristol, I just want to say, so it's the second biggest Renaissance fair in the country.
Is it seriously?
It seriously is, yeah. And it's one of the only ones in the country. So that's why it's so expensive. And it's one of the only ones in the country to have permanent structures. A lot of the Renaissance fairs in the country, have
many of like the older fairs do have the permanent structures. Like I've seen pictures from like, I believe Arizona has some because I've seen my buddy's pictures from there. I believe Carolina does. I know, like, I think Georgia, I know has permanent structures because the guy who runs the jerky, Sam, who does the jerky at Bristol, actually runs the Hookah Lounge at Georgia.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
I think California is the one, either California or Texas is the one that has the biggest.
Texas is the big one.
But
Texas is the Disney. Texas is the Magic Kingdom of Renaissance fairs. And one of these years I'm going to make it down.
Yes. Take me.
I'll probably hit up Georgia at some point though, before I hit up Texas, because I want to, so the Hookah Lounge at Georgia apparently overlooks the joust, and people get there like an hour at least before the joust just to get a spot to watch the joust and have a hookah.
Oh, that sounds fun.
And yes, I know they say don't take your work home with you, but I do.
You know what? I'm not gonna look down on you on that.
I had to make one hookah joke.
And Lord of Spice, aka Derek, says, "What up, nerdesses?" Hello, Derek.
Hi.
And he is inviting us to come to North Carolina. What's the Ren Fair situation in North Carolina, Derek? Do you know?
I have a buddy. He had named Charlie. He had a street show there where he played with melted chocolate and made a bunch of poop jokes about it and stuff. So he's been trying to get me to North Carolina. He came to Bristol this year for a day to play around and have fun during Labor Day weekend. So I kind of owe it to him to go to North Carolina at some point.
Oh. Derek says he doesn't have a clue about the Renaissance Fair situation, so he's going to have to find out.
I've
All
heard
right,
it's
well.
fun. I've heard Carolina's a fun fair. My mom just texted me.
What?
My mom just messaged me to drop the hookah. This is my shtick at fair, Mom. Let me have this. You can yell at me later.
So, do you have a favorite memory from your years of Renaissance Fair?
Honestly, Bristol is such a big, beautiful blur to me. Actually, yes, I do. It happened last season. So when I worked the hookah lounge, let me grab the tobacco for a second, just so you can see how gross this stuff is. Yeah, I'll grab my things.
Lord of Spice.
So for people who don't know, this is hookah tobacco. I get covered in this during the day. Like, it comes out of my boots, it comes out of my boobs, it's in my hair, it even gets in my navel, because a lot of the shirts I wear actually show my midriff. So it's even like got in my navel, it gets everywhere, my fingers get dyed red. So I don't look like a princess. I look like some of the cat puked up. And so
You look like Cinderella.
So I should have included this. I'm gonna see if I can turn down the brightness on my phone, and actually now. So this little girl's wearing a tiara, and she's like, we're playing around and stuff. Her mom's having a hookah. She's just the cutest little muffin ever. She puts her tiara on my head and says, "There, now you're a princess too."
Oh,
I wanted to cry my eyes out so bad. Because it was end of day. I looked like a mess. But this little girl is so cute. And she has no idea how special she actually made me feel.
Kids are just the best. Like,
they are. There was another kid. So the hookah lounge, we have a pit where people can sit on the floor nestled in pillows. It's really comfy. It was my favorite spot to camp out when I was a patron of Faire. A kid built a pillow fort last season. And I just, ADD brain, impulse mouth went, finally someone did it.
Like, I have zero interest in hookah, no offense, but I totally want to come build a pillow fort in your hookah lounge.
Oh, no, the hookah lounge, it's also just a great place to come relax. We've got the Mediterranean restaurant right next door. It's owned by the same guy. The food there's fantastic. If we're not like full with hookah people, just come, grab some food and just come relax. It's a covered seating area in an area where there is no shade. There is absolutely no shade in the Savannah, in that front area of Bristol. That's where I am. I'm right across from the guys of the horn shop. So actually another favorite memory I have is one of the Vikings at the horn shop, and I will make faces at each other across the way. We'll literally just It's wonderful. And then my last
Lord of Spice's comment says,
"You will become a hookah swamp thing." Oh no, that was me Labor Day weekend. It doesn't. Hookah tobacco is bound together with molasses and a bunch of goop, so pipe tobacco actually wouldn't work. You keep the pipe tobacco separate from the hookah. Trust me, it would burn. So on a hookah are these. These are square coals. They're huge, and they burn hot. Like, I have second-degree burns on both my hands. They burn that hot.
Oh,
yeah. I'm gonna look really awkward here for a minute.
Lord of Spice says, incidentally, the Hitman games have the best hookah-related assassination methods. I did not realize that was possible.
But another one of my what was it? Another one of my favorite memories. This isn't exactly like you're not supposed to talk about behind the scenes. So I don't think this really is that behind the scenes-y. But my favorite memories actually at Bristol are before the gates even open. I love, like, when I get I will get to Bristol I will try to be at the hookah lounge at about 8 a.m. to get all my chores done, so then I can maybe, relax and have a little bit after getting my hair done and everything. I will try to relax with a hookah before things open. And my favorite thing in the morning is just sitting there with a hookah, with like usually like the town theme playing from Final Fantasy VI or some from Skyrim, playing on my phone and then just watching people in garb running errands. It's so surreal in the morning. It is absolutely surreal. And I live for it. I cannot wait for Faire to start again.
I'm so excited too. I have some friends from Indiana who have never been to Bristol, they've been to other Ren fairs, but they haven't been to Bristol. So they're coming in July to go to Bristol. And I'm so excited for them to experience it.
I'm going to shoot you a message on Facebook about that. Okay.
Yes. That sounds good. And Donna perked up at your mention of Vikings. She said, Vikings, my people. Donna is definitely got a Viking soul.
The Horn Shop Vikings are some of the biggest sweethearts you ever meet, along with Drupal the Barbarian. I can't shout him out enough. Him and Drum Jam.
Yes.
Which I actually got all my chores pretty done in time on Labor Day that I was able to make it to Drum Jam for a little bit.
Okay.
My boss gave me a treat and let me go to Drum Jam for a little while.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think the Renaissance fairs I feel like are experiencing just an uptick in popularity, and I also feel like cosplay and Renaissance fairs pretty much, unless you work there, anything goes to some extent.
So
if you're attending.
So actually right now would probably be a good time to throw up. I believe there's a picture of me as Jiro in both normal Jiro and then in cosplay Jiro that was taken during cosplay weekend of this year. A lot of people at Faire, like it depends on your boss. My boss, I will be alerting him weekends where my hair will be a different color. Whenever there is something going on pirate related, I will probably have Namen on. But there's an uptick in it because I believe, like, I'm going to say TikTok. I'm going to say it's because of TikTok. Sorry. There was a bug.
You know what?
I think it's because of TikTok, cottagecore, you know, all that stuff just kind of having a boom in popularity.
And the fact that a lot of people are getting into D&D and it kind of goes hand in hand.
It really does.
The D&D,
like I know some of I believe some of my regulars at the Hook Lounge do come with their D&D group.
So
yes.
Lord of Spice asks,
yes, it does.
And I know why he's asking this.
Yes, and yes. And bonus points if you can actually speak Italian.
Yeah.
Bonus points if you can speak some Italian. But I actually one of my buddies does do Assassin's Creed every weekend of Red Fair. He does a blue version of Ezio's outfit, and it looks absolutely phenomenal. I don't know how the hell he wears it in the heat, but he does. The man's nuts.
And for anyone listening on audio, the question was, does Ezio's Assassin's robe count as Ren Fair cosplay because he's a Renaissance man? And absolutely,
God,
I
yes,
also agree. I have friends who do Assassin's Creed. And the reason Lord of Spice asked that is because he worked on one of the more recently released Assassin's Creed games.
Which one? Derek,
you're going to have to help me because 2 of them got released at the same time. Which one did you work on?
Because that's so freaking cool that you worked on the Assassin's Creed game. That's so awesome.
Yeah, my friends are awesome. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank on which one because I'm tired. It's been a day. Assassin's Creed Nexus. Thank you, Derek. Awesome. I'm sorry. I still love you. Yeah.
That is so freaking cool.
Right? I got to brag on my friends. And Ruby Elliott says, off topic, but I love the movie poster in the background. That's her favorite Mickey. That is the best Mickey.
It's got my boy Chernobog on it. I'm not used to camera angles. It's got my boy Chernobog on it. The 90s release of Fantasia was my introduction to Fantasia. I am hyper obsessed with that movie. I could fill an entire podcast just with what I know about Fantasia.
Fantasia's the best.
It is. It is.
Both
Fantasia.
versions. Both.
Fantasia really was my gateway drug into doing music, into just doing everything I do. Somehow all roads lead back to Fantasia.
You know what? Yes. In high school, I really wanted to go see Fantasia 2000. So like I made my high school boyfriend go see it, and his mom did not think that we were going to see it. She thought we were like going to see an R-rated movie because like of course.
I saw 2000 3 times on the IMAX. I bloody loved it. I've gone to 2 times of the symphony doing the Fantasia concert. Loved it. Actually, when I saw Fantasia in 23 with the CSO, they did the Firebird suite, and there's a jump scare in the Firebird suite. The whole Symphony Center just jumped at that jump scare, and there I am like, yeah, bring it on, you flaming chicken. I know it's coming. You can't pull one on me anymore.
Oh, that's awesome.
But I did actually get the chance to see Fantasia way back in, like, I think it was 2015. I got to see Fantasia in the theater, and that was a religious experience I will never forget.
That's so awesome.
It is.
And as Lord of the Spice, he's still talking about so he got to play with the EZO scenes when he was working on Nexus. So
nice.
Yeah. So aside from Renaissance Fair cosplay, what cosplays are you working, or it could be Renaissance Fair cosplay, either way, what cosplays are you working on right now?
Right now I'm going to be putting a lot into Nami. Nami and Jiro were 2 very big flukes with cosplaying for me, where Jiro is everything I wanted when I was a 2000s emo kid. Like, that's why you see me wearing her. Like, I have never done a really canon outfit for Jiro. I'm always in like a band shirt or something. And Nami was, I don't know. I think you have the picture of that concept art with my outfit. This would be a good time to probably pull that up. I think I sent that one to you.
Let me pull that up. 1 second. Is this it?
Yep, that's it. So I was shown that concept art, and I had actually picked up pretty much all of the garb that I'm wearing in that picture, save for that red sash. That red sash reoccurs in a few different cosplays, actually, in a few different cosplay photos. But I looked, I'm like, I have that outfit. I would take Nami. I would make her look more piratey. So I had this outfit already in the wings, and I was like, I'm gonna have some fun and do pirate shit.
Yes.
So Nami, I'm gonna be probably buying some stuff at Faire this year to expand her wardrobe a bit, because I am in love with cosplaying Nami. I love doing both My Hero and One Piece. One Piece are really, honestly, like my people. Some of them at Amp-Key recognized me from Bristol, which was absolutely phenomenal. And I'm like, I get to run around in my Faire garb. Off season.
Which is perfect.
It is. Because I am going through like a massive amount of Faire withdrawal right now. But I mean, we have like 94 days to opening day. It's getting to that, that final stretch of waiting.
It's still that long. Oh, it's so depressing. And I don't even get to go that often because of how pricey it is. And I'm still like, come on, it needs to open.
Hey, Kelly. So I'm not going to do this for just anybody. So don't think I'm going to do this for just anybody. If you pay me back at Faire, I can get you in for $25.
Ooh.
I can get you in for discount. So just float me the money and I'll get it to you from the nice lady at the gate.
Very nice. Yeah. Which is, I think that's half price. So thank you.
It's a little bit over half price, but it is just about half price.
Yeah, that's nice. Well, I appreciate it.
Yep. But Faire is honestly, To me, I would still pay the $40 if I could, if I had to go, because like those buildings,
it's seriously worth it.
They start the maintenance on those buildings. Like I believe they'll probably be starting the maintenance on the buildings soon, like April or May. If not already, they're starting. But like April, May, they're going to start the heavy maintenance and everything on the grounds.
So that's what they do in the off season. They just kind of
in the off season. I believe it's a lot of maintenance on those buildings because I mean, Ren Fair. You got to remember some of those Bristol buildings have been there since it was King Richard's Fair. Like the Tuscany Tavern's been there forever. The area where I work is a little newer, but yeah, no, some of those buildings have been there for over 30 years now.
Because I had always wondered what they did in the off season, and also the price of the ticket includes as many live shows as you can fit into your day.
And some of those performers are absolutely wonderful people.
Oh my gosh!
Like there's so
live
much
shows. Fun. You could pay $30 for one live show of the calendar.
I love talking to the Mud Show people. The Sword Swallower guy is really nice. It's all about, Mooney is an absolute sweetheart. His assistant Panda is such a wonderful guy. He is a very good friend of mine.
And he's so talented. He's so good.
Mooney is amazing. But he will troll you if you give him the chance to.
This is just like an hour-long ad for Bristol. Like the Bristol people should just play this.
and just marry goofball Ren Fair cosplay photos.
Exactly. So, and then you had a fun story that you told me before the show about a fun cosplay related story.
I did. I got to do so with my buddy Mike. He's part of the Bosant Brotherhood. He also has a pirate group. The Bosant are the Crusaders, and those guys are absolutely animals, and I love them. But he invited me to do the Racine, the St. Patrick's Day parade this year. So I went up with my buddy who does Savo. He's in a couple of the pictures from that I sent you. I believe, you see him sort of in the background of the one of me holding Captain Blood. But my buddy Jordan and I went up. It's the one of me holding.
They're really small. That one. There we go.
So we went up. I wore my green dress. I was freezing. I ended up in his coat, which was wonderful of him. But I was freezing. But this guy had a One Piece hoodie on, and I complimented his hoodie, and he's like, his daughter was starting to watch One Piece, so she and her whole Girl Scout troop flock us, and we're doing pictures with them. It was amazing, and I loved it. I was like, "Yep, this is why I cosplay. This is why I do this."
Same. And we've come to the point in the show whenever Derek tunes in, he does cosplay recommendations for our guest. So this is what he thinks you should cosplay.
Oh boy.
He's always spot on too. So I recommend.
I would love to do Valhalla. I would absolutely love to do Valhalla. I am not familiar with Senua or Tetra, so I'm gonna have to look those up.
Okay. Senua, I will send you pictures. I have one friend who has cosplayed Senua, and Senua is a badass, super cool. Derek does not take into account difficulty levels, though. We love you for this,
I like
Derek.
a challenge. One thing that I would love to do at some point would be the more recent look for Jaina Proudmoore. And actually, I want to. I have designs. I don't know when the heck I'm going to get it off the ground. Yes, please. Yes. I have no idea when the heck I'm going to get it off the ground at this point, just because it seems like snag upon snag upon snag upon money. I would love to cosplay Chernobog from Fantasia.
Yes. Do it. I'll be one of the nymphs.
I would love that if I could get a group to just homage Fantasia.
I will be one of the nymphs. Crayle, my cosplay partner, and also co-host who couldn't make it tonight, has wanted to get, she's also wanted to be a satyr. So she's wanted to get satyr.
I
hugs
haven't
and
cosplayed a satyr, but I've been a satyr before. Fun tidbit. I've been a satyr without dressing up as a satyr.
how?
I'm on a Magic the Gathering card.
Oh my gosh, what? You have to tell this story.
I'm on the card. What is it? Did I seriously? I'm on the card Stampede Rider. It's from the Theros block. The more recent one, it was released just before pandemic hit. I do have a print of the card. Like I have the an art, like an actual art print of the card if you want to see it.
Yes. Yes.
Let's go grab that. So you guys are gonna get to see me as a satyr, but I still see me.
That is amazing.
That is by Chicago native Aaron Miller. I still have yet to get it framed.
That is really cool.
I still have yet to actually get it framed. It's on my to-do list. But that's by Chicago native Aaron Miller. He's a talented artist. But so you guys see me as a satyr. I see me killing my leg, balancing on a 2x4 that's being held up by recycling bins. That was a fun experience.
Yeah, I posed for the Dragonlance Chronicles, the re-release that came out in 2000. And same thing, like the behind the scenes, like I'm wearing this awful curly wig and I think I was holding, or the one guy was holding like a broom instead of a sword, and
That's beautiful.
same thing, like it's very creative
beautiful.
behind the scenes. Yeah.
That is absolutely wonderful. But it's so much
And the
fun.
art is amazing. Yeah.
It's so much fun when you actually get to see it come together. Like when I actually saw the card, I cried. I was like, this is, I looked just so happy in it. Like he caught even like that tiny, when I'm laughing a lot, like I did earlier in the podcast, like I have this tiny little nose crinkle I do whenever I laugh a lot.
That is so good. Yeah. You should, do you have a digital image that you can send me that I can share on our Instagram?
I do. I will find that somewhere. I have it saved somewhere in my mass amount of, I'm not going to scroll through all my pictures right now.
Okay. Well, if you find it, send it to me, because we always share things after the show, just in case people miss things. So let's go through the rest of your pictures if you wanted to talk about your costumes and just give me little tidbits. This one,
I love this picture. So this outfit shows up in I think I sent in a Chandra cosplay picture. This outfit does show up in another picture too. But this was a last minute idea for Nami where I was like, I want kind of a nighttime outfit. And I haven't shown that much skin since I've done the Finn Balor Demon King. I gained a bit of weight. I went from I think I was about 110 when I finished doing Demon King, and I'm about 125. So I have a bit of a gut now. And I haven't shown it that much because I've been minorly self-conscious about it. But doing that for Nami, wearing, my old belly dancing necklaces and stuff again. I absolutely love doing that red. That was taken by Justin Panetta. And I love how my skin looks in that picture. I don't know how we got me to look that pale, but I love it.
It's great. It really
but
is.
I actually, fun story. So that rose, we cut that rose down in our hotel room, and that thing was pretty jagged. So I ended up with I don't think I have any of the aftermath in any of my pictures on here, but I do actually end up on I think a couple photos from Sunday. I don't know if I did the rose or not for my Sunday shoot, but I ended up having cuts right under my brow line from that rose.
That's cosplay. It's not cosplay unless you believe.
And there's the red sash. There's the red sash again. There's Jiro. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah, I should have replaced that wig earlier. I have replaced my Jiro wig since these pictures were taken. But the one on the right is me sweating my guts off at Anime Iowa in a pleather vest. And then the one on the left is actually during cosplay weekend at Ren Fair. I threw that together last minute, grabbed the shirt day of. I want to do a better version of my Faire Giro, but I love turning Giro into a bard. I loved it.
It's really cute.
And you can actually see in that picture, you could actually see a little bit of the Bakugo keychain on me. That's taken at, I forgot what farm that was at, but that was actually taken at farm. I wanted to just have one of me just straight Faire garb, and I really love this picture. Once again, actually, almost all of my garb except for the red outfit is from Zootsu. What I'm wearing tonight is from Zootsu. I love their stuff. Cannot shout them out enough. This is not a paid advertisement, but I love you guys.
Oh.
But there you actually see my pin and my tartan for Clan Drakmore. And that was actually a fun get together because we didn't know if it was going to rain or not.
Was this the sunflower one, or was this?
That's the sunflower field one. I didn't. I that was at an apple farm, and I cannot remember how many apple cider donuts I ate that night, but it was good. And one of my buddies brought my buddy Rob had brought some of his homemade mead, and that stuff tasted phenomenal.
Oh, that sounds good.
I believe that's opening weekend.
This is just like what you expect to see when you walk in the fair. I almost used this as the cover photo because I was like, I think I might have even used it for the YouTube thumbnail because I was like, this is a welcoming photo.
That is taken by fair photographer Chad Britt. He does a ton of pictures he goes up almost every weekend. He's actually the Giro one of me at fair was also taken by him. And the reason I look so tired in the Giro photo is that was right after work. Like we nailed me right at closing for the Giro pictures. But that's actually, I believe that's about midday, and it was cooler. It was cooler during opening weekend. Nice. Because I'm not wearing cap sleeves.
Yeah, because
and that's actually
actual sleeves.
That's me at work too. And then I'm wearing the same bracelet that I'm wearing right now. This was made by a buddy of mine, Jack. It actually has a quote from Black Sails on it. So I wear this with almost all of my fair garb. And Nami, I wear this bracelet.
Oh, I love it.
Yes.
And then back to this one because
that's Sunday of Anime Milwaukee. I'm really happy I got Jordan in on the shoot too because he was really fun to have to shoot with. I'm sad our photographer didn't put up the thumbnail. Was that IBF who did that picture? 1 second, let me go through my messenger and find who the photographer was for that. But Captain Blood is actually a nod on to a pirate movie that I love from the 30s. Called Captain Blood. It's got Olivia de Havilland and Errol Flynn in it, and Basil Rathbone. So it's the good chunk of the team of the group from the Errol Flynn Robin Hood. Once again, doing what they do best. Olivia de Havilland has an attitude. Errol Flynn and Basil Rathbone try to kill each other. But it's a good movie. I can't recommend Captain Blood enough. Another one I like is I believe this one is Tyrone Power, but it's another movie called The Black Swan. It's another pirate movie.
Nice.
Let me see here. There's BHE. Is it BHE? It was BHE Photos that did that one of me.
Oh, nice. Thank you for getting that credit. Whenever possible, we like to credit our photographers. And then
that picture was taken by the absolutely incomparable Aphrodite Charlotte.
Oh, I love her.
I love her work. And Afro's such a sweetheart too. You can actually see her rig in the picture.
Yeah, she's just amazing.
And then my beautiful son of Sandalar boots, which I love these boots. These boots actually have a fun story. Ooh, so I love Son of Sandalar's work. I've loved them since I saw their boots for the first time. But yeah, Son of Sandalar's are a little expensive. So Fair. It was raining one day during fair season of 22. And one of my old buddies from Marmion, Tom MacGyver, was at fair that day. He leans on the hookah lounge, like the railing, and I'm wearing canvas Doc Marten Mary Janes. These shoes are not waterproof. It is cold. It is damp. It is miserable out. And I am just freezing. But he looks at me like, Mary Kukla, do you want a repeat of laryngitis incident of 2004? We're getting you boots. I don't make boot money. I'm getting you boots. So he talks to James. Next thing I know, I'm being fitted for sandalars.
Oh.
And I absolutely love these boots. I wear them a lot as everyday boots. I think I wear them actually more than my Doc Martens.
Those look really comfy.
I'm wearing them right now, actually.
Love it.
I'm actually wearing my sandalars right now. This was at St. James Farm in Warrenville? I think it's Warrenville. Yeah, it's Warrenville. Off of County Farm Road. And that's actually from that cosplay is actually from a hidden object game. I'm a big fan of the Dark Parables hidden object game series. And one of my favorites is the Red Riding Hood Sisters game. So I actually had a Red Riding Hood Sisters cloak made. I don't have any good pictures of it, but I embroidered the patch that they have onto it. That was a pain in the ass. And then
I was going to say that looks like Red Riding Hood. Like
it is very Red Riding Hood. It is very Red Riding Hood. And I forever love that outfit. I was climbing a lot of stuff in heeled boots that day.
That is absolutely the way to go. That's how you get the good pictures.
I forgot who took the Chandra picture of me in the armor. But Chandra is a cosplay. I have retired. The wig got beaten up. I outgrew the corset. Thanks, Justin, for being a good cook. I outgrew the corset. But so that is that actually, I believe the spinny death picture is the last time I ever wore Chandra.
Oh, wow.
And once again, there it is. I'm actually pointing at my laptop screen, so this is gonna look awkward. But once again, there's that red skirt, the sash, and the little vesty thingy.
Very nice.
I think it's a bolero. I don't know. It's kind of a cross between a bolero and a vest.
Oh yeah, I do not know what it's
actually,
called,
after doing that picture, I fell over. I fell over. I was dizzy.
Were you spinning?
I was spinning. We actually caught me mid-spin. That was done by, I think Ahmad took that picture, but it was with Aphrodite's setup. And that was, I believe, the first time I'd ever actually met Aphrodite, too.
Yeah. Ahmad is also, I adore him. He just has the best energy.
He's a ham.
Yes.
Ahmad is a ham.
Yes, he is. And
there's the dress I'm wearing. This is a really good example of same outfit, totally different energy. So this was the first iteration of Bard Giro. I didn't do this version of Bard Giro for cosplay because I believe cosplay, it wasn't hot, but it was warm.
Mm-hmm.
It was warm. This is at the, I forgot who took this picture. It was one of the Chicago cosplay and photography photographers. I'm really sorry, I'm blanking on names.
I see BIS is the end of the.
Okay. So if you're watching, I love the picture. but I actually, this iteration of Bard Giro I believe I started doing that for, no, the Labatt Woods photo shoot came before ASENSE. That was the first iteration of Bard Giro. When I was like, I'm going to make her just an absolute bard. And threw on the purple zoot suit dress, the long vest, the sash, same outfit, just different characters. So I thought this would be a good example of just how versatile my Faire garb can be, where I can go from, Mary to just Giro and just add a tin whistle and you got it. I think I'm actually playing part of the Grey Havens music from Lord of the Rings in that picture, actually. Yeah, fun fact, I can play tin whistle. I'm a little out of practice, but I can actually play tin whistle.
Oh, that's impressive. And we do have a few comments. So
Um,
Lord Spice says, I have a bit of a gut now. I feel you, girl.
2020 murdered us. 2020. It was done.
Yeah.
Because I can't even fit in that long vest right now. I need to actually get a bigger size from Zootsu because no matter how much I relace that thing, it's just the buttons aren't having it. I'm actually wearing my short vest today. If you want to I have been told that because of that Jiro wig, and I have been tempted. So I think the major is at some point going to be on my to-do list. So probably after I get in shape.
And then he also says you could do Priscilla from The Witcher 3. She's a singer bard. If you do that,
I am actually, so fun fact, on top of the tin whistle, I am a professionally trained first soprano.
Oh, wow. That is.
I have sung at, I sang with a community choir years back, and we actually went to Carnegie Hall in 2013 and then Lincoln Center in 2015.
Wow. So you really do need to be Priscilla and sing.
Well, my first cosplay ever was actually Len from Final Fantasy X too.
Ooh.
And then now Jiro being a singer, and then I would love to add another singer onto my repertoire.
There you go.
But it's just breaking me away from getting to do pirate shit is going to be a very hard thing. One Piece got its claws in me, and I don't think it's going to let go anytime soon.
It's okay. I get it. Once you get onto something, it is hard to.
I mean, what kid doesn't want to dress up and play pirate?
I feel that.
Even as an adult, like who doesn't want to dress up and play pirate or play Lord of the Rings or, go play fantasy?
Yeah, I finished my pirate.
And if you don't, you're lying to yourself. Quit lying to yourself. You know you want to.
Yeah, y'all want to come over and play pirates and Lord of the Rings? So we also have a couple of viewer submissions that I want to go through. Just want to give a shout out to Honey Blossom Cosplay.
Oh, those are so good. That Sailor Moon is amazing.
I know. I am in love with it.
And so is that Guentner.
Awesome. Yeah, I know. Just absolutely awesome.
Doing Faire stuff in a wig is actually pretty fun. When I do Faire and I know I'm going to be wearing a wig, there's a braiding group at Faire, which I think they said they're doing it again next year. Rapunzel Braids actually did all my hair braiding this year, and they're pretty excited about this season because my hair is much longer now, so they get to play with my long hair.
That'd be fun.
Mm-hmm. Well, they can't do too much because it has to really stay out of my face, but
yeah, makes sense. And then we have T-shirt cosplay. So Ruby and Mark.
Umbrellas are a must-have accessory at Ren Fair. Like umbrellas are just a must-have.
I really need to buy a fancy umbrella for the next time I go to Faire. I just do.
I think the umbrella stand was back this year, so they might be back again next year. I know there's one vendor, and I'm extremely bitter, and I will always be bitter. The map people didn't return after the plague, and that made me sad. That made me very sad because I have a wall. So my wall to the left of me, I need to work out my arms. My wall to the left of me is full of maps, and I would have loved for it to be just floor to ceiling maps.
They had some really gorgeous maps. I remember.
Unfortunately, though, it's only about half full. Let me see if I can actually ignore the mess. But there it is.
Oh, those are so pretty. And the
Yeah,
pandemic was really hard.
it's
on
Irish
those
distilleries,
vendors.
Illinois wineries, Transylvania, Italy, Final Fantasy VI, and then London before the fire.
Ooh. So if y'all have a lead on someone who does map artwork, drop us a line.
Please. Actually, another fun fact is, as much as I play fantasy games, as much as I love Lord of the Rings, I still don't have a map of Middle Earth. I still don't own a map of Middle Earth yet.
And then, and this is our last.
That looks phenomenal. Like that all looks phenomenal. I have all the props to people who can manage a corset at Faire. I wore that red corset quite a few times at Faire, and I just died. Like I just died in it.
So Derek suggested between the pirate vibe and the singing.
I do enjoy singing sea shanties. I actually do enjoy them. One of my favorite, and I just discovered that this is actually a sea shanty, thanks to looking up stuff to make for my One Piece playlist. I did not realize Health to the Company was a sea shanty. I've only known it being from Blackmore's Night. No. And I'm like, oh my god, this is actually a sea shanty? I freaking love this song.
Well, and we have friends who put on pirate sea shanty panels at cons. So
we do. And I'm really sad that Nathan's kind of fizzled out for Anime Milwaukee, because I had a few people who wanted in. I know. It makes me sad.
So, Lord of Spice, you need to come visit the Midwest, because we do sea shanty panels at our Comic-Cons here. So, like, we need to come visit us too.
We have a little bit of a let's drink and sing kind of vibe.
Yeah. It's pretty fun.
That was one thing I was not prepared for One Piece cosplay, was just how much eating and drinking they do when they're not doing a shoot or something. The downtime is all food and booze.
That sounds fun.
It was. I indulged in a few Bloody Marys and spotted cows when I was up at Anime Milwaukee, and it was lovely.
I love Bloody Marys so much. I have not. Okay,
another shout out, Bristol. The Crow's Nest Bar at Bristol does a really, really, really good Bloody Mary. Like, they're the only bar at Bristol that does their bloodies from scratch. And they're from they're near the, what is it? So you know the Friends of Fair Garden?
Yes.
They're actually right down that avenue. So if you see Pfaff, and then you turn down where the toilets are, they're right across the way from the Flushables.
Well, I'm getting myself a Bloody Mary.
They do a from scratch Bloody Mary, and it's pretty friggin' good. Nice. My breakfast in the morning at Faire is usually grilled pineapple and a Bloody Mary.
Oh, that sounds good.
Oh, it is a wonderful way to start the day. And I found out Bloody Marys are rich in electrolytes. And I'm like, oh, sweet. That's why I'm able to go during the day. That's why I'm able to just be out of the gate.
I mean, tomato juice. It's good for you.
Because, I mean, for anybody who wants to work Ren Fair, it's hard work. No matter where you are, it's hard work. You're there way before. Hi, James.
Hi, James.
If you come to Fair,
my Ren Fair buddy last year,
because we had fun chilling with you last year.
And Delicious Panda.
There's Panda. Where's Panda? I was just talking about you earlier. I was literally just talking about you earlier and how awesome you are.
Aw. John Pica shared to all cosplay groups I'm a member of. Johnny is my network head. I love you, Johnny.
That is awesome. But no, Bristol, it's hard work. Like, I gave up a big chunk of social life to work the hookah lounge, and I have absolutely no regrets about it. Like, I had someone be like, oh, well, when you work Fair, you're going to hate it. And I actually look more forward to it now because I've taken something, I've planted my feet in there, and I've just made it my own. And I know a lot of Rennies, like I'm gonna say this PSA here. I know that there's somewhat of a dividing line between the Rennies, like the Rennies, and like the cosplayers. And but like it's not like all cosplayers, like they love cosplayers, but they would love to see us adapt our costumes more to Ren Fair, which is what I've had an absolute blast doing. I've had an absolute blast sharing what I've been able to do.
That makes sense.
And I guess I minorly lucked out that my cosplays are able to adapt to Fair.
Makes sense.
But it's just some of these people in these outfits at Fair. I don't know how the hell some of you did it during Labor Day weekend of last year. But tell me how you didn't die. Labor Day last year.
Some people
Labor Day last year was
who go to Fair and they post pictures. And I'm like,
Labor Day weekend last year. Labor Day weekend last year was a 3-day slog of, and I don't want to say slog because it sounds so negative, but it was a 3-day slog of 110 heat index across the board. There was no break from the heat. It was insane.
Yeah, I don't know how anyone did it, like for real. It was nuts.
Well, because a lot of what I do
on that
is I'm in that kitchen, because I share my area with the Mediterranean restaurant. I'm in that kitchen, you're throwing coals on, like it's hot. It's really hot. I remember I don't even think I wore my sandals that week, and I wore my canvas Doc Martens, and I was just dumping water on my shoes to try to stay cool.
That sounds terrible.
Well, there was also Seven Sojourn's cooling spray. Kept me alive. I smelled like peppermint the whole weekend.
Ooh, I need you to send me a link to buy that because
yeah, we all need it. We all need it. Well, we're not going to need it at C2E2 because C2E2 is cold. Oh my God, that convention center is like the coldest convention center I've ever been to. There is no being warm at C2E2.
You know, it's crazy. And so James Whale says, I don't have much Ren Fair, but what's your opinion when I wear Eastern clothing?
I like the outfits you wear at Fair.
Yeah, I mean, Eastern countries experienced Renaissance era too. Like they were not influenced by
That's right. James hadn't joined when I mentioned this, but like my first Fair outfit was actually a kimono. My first Fair outfit, it was made from cotton, so it didn't get that trashed, but it was actually a kimono. So, you know, it's all good as long as, you know, you wear what you wear and you enjoy wearing it and you keep in mind of temperatures.
Yes.
You don't wear pure the Seven Sojourn cooling spray, Panda. Because one of my customers had it. They used some on me, and I ended up giving them money and be like, take my money, please go get me. Please go get me some cooling spray. I need this. I need this in my life.
I seriously need that because I am going to be working an outdoor festival later this summer. And
oh no, I'm going to bring like 3 bottles with me to Anime Iowa. I'm taking no chances this year with Anime Iowa. I guess it was just as hot at Bristol, but Anime Iowa, I think, I wasn't like that miserable Saturday and Sunday of Anime Iowa. Thursday and Friday of Anime Iowa were absolute just swamp. It was like
I'm going to be doing Times of Future Past in Iowa.
Humid as all get out. I'm like, okay, Bristol got me ready for this. Let's go.
Yeah. So we are at the end of our hour, and it's time for me to ask. I'm going to give you the full screen. I'm going to ask you the question that we ask of all of our guests. So,
oh boy.
So if you could give advice to any, and I'm going to modify this a little bit, but if you could give advice to anyone starting out in cosplay and in the Renaissance Fair community, so that's kind of a two-part question. What advice would you give?
It's okay to be a beginner. You know, like it's totally okay to be a beginner. I look back at my early cosplay photos going, God, what the heck was I doing? And then I'm like, there's always room to grow, to evolve, to do all this stuff. Like that Red Riding Hood outfit, I wore that to Bristol a few times. And then as I developed needs and what I needed to do and what I wanted, that kind of shaped my wardrobe. It also shaped my cosplay wardrobe, because I got my Kingdom Hearts cosplay, which didn't get any pictures in this. I wanted to, but there was just none that fit the Ren Faire theme. I wore 2 corsets with that cosplay. Demon King was insane poses and so much body makeup. It's okay. My point behind that is it's okay to do a street clothes cosplay. Jiro is a breath of fresh air from wrecking myself in corsets and makeup and all that stuff, because now I can actually really enjoy myself. But I'm gonna say it's okay to be a beginner. Like, yeah, you're going to compare yourself to people, but just remember, what your skill set, what you're capable of doing, and that you can always grow and move, and you don't need to be like way out of the gate, like immediately. Give yourself time to develop, to grow, to see what you like doing, to see what you like wearing. And also, comfortable footwear. Comfortable footwear. Don't do what I did. Don't do what I did at anime conventions past and go like 15 hours in a pair of heels. Don't do it. Just don't. You'll hurt. A good, comfortable pair of boots goes a long way.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that either. Your feet will fall off.
I used to, like, for Nami, before I go into raves in that Nami outfit, I wear heels for Nami for like photos, but if I go into like the Raven Nami in that red outfit, I'm wearing flip-flops.
Perfect. And I love John Pica's recommendation. He says, everyone watching, make sure to give a thumbs up, heart, or a smiley face, or even better, send stars. Which, yes, we do. We appreciate support in all forms, and those are all great forms.
And then just, come say hi to me at Bristol. Even if you don't come to smoke hookah, I love it when people come say hi, because to be perfectly honest, I know we're going to go over a little bit here, but I'm going to air one grievance. No. I can feel a little isolated sometimes working the hookah lounge, because all my friends are down at Tuscany, and I love it that Panda comes out. I love that James comes out to just come say hi to me. Like, you guys have absolutely no idea how special it makes me feel that you come all the way out to the land of no shade to come say hi.
So do that.
I work from 11 to 7, opening day to closing day. I get 1 hour to goof around. 1 hour.
Oh my gosh, that is so much. So basically everyone who stops in at Bristol, you all are her friends now. If you're watching this episode, you need to say hi to Senna. Also, where can people find you online?
You guys can find me online. I'm going to start trying to maintain my socials better. I am sorry, they're a little neglected. But you can find me online at SCFCosplay on both Instagram and on Facebook.
Yes.
I need to get one of those TikTok things going at some point too, I think.
What was that? Sorry, what was that?
I should get one of those TikTok things going too.
Before it gets banned.
I'll put that on my to-do list. Hopefully it doesn't get banned, because like I've heard some testimonies from especially that Midwestern mom. I love her stuff. Being like, TikTok gave me my platform.
I love her too. She's great.
Her crackhead ADHD energy is just wonderful.
You should get a TikTok. I think TikTok is probably safe. I think we're safe, y'all. Everyone, thank you for watching.
TikTok is safe, if not for anything, but for marketing. For marketing companies and things. It's such a wide platform. So it gets stuff out there. Like TikTok, it's made a bunch of old things new again.
Agreed. That is the beauty of TikTok. Yeah, you all know where to find me. And so again, thank you all for watching.
I was going to say, while you're wearing your lovely R1 dress, I'm actually wearing my Hematite 1 ring. I just realized I'm wearing it.
Synchronicity.
Yes. This was actually the first ring my wonderful guy Justin got me. like way, way, way back when. And he was supposed to be sitting next to me, poking me during some of this, but he has decided not to emerge. But he is, I can't thank him enough for putting up with my bullshit and my crazy ideas and my needing to have help getting stuff downstairs at like 6 o'clock in the morning because I need to leave for Faire weekend.
I suppose being married to a Rennie.
It's like, we're not married yet, but it's hard. It can be kind of hard because you come home, you want to hug your SO, and they're covered in sweat and glitter. So yeah, I usually come home, I'm covered in sweat, I'm covered in glitter, I'm covered in cooling spray, I'm covered in hookah goo. But I wouldn't give up. I wouldn't give up what I do at Bristol now for the absolute world. And I've made a lot of friends at that hookah lounge too. So it's really a wonderful experience, because last year I realized, like, last year was my second year working, and I realized I have regulars. I have people who come literally to chill and smoke because I'm there, and it's a fun, wonderful feeling.
That's so sweet. Well, you all heard it here. Stop in and say hi to Senna. Thank you for watching again. Senna,
We
thank
open
you
the
for
weekend
being
after
here.
July 4th, and we go through Labor Day.
Yes. And enjoy this exit video from our network, a little message about all the other shows we have to offer.
It's like Coca-Cola, Levi Strauss, Johnny Carson and Mickey Mouse. The first star was James Dean, Elvis Presley, and he's still the king. Some things are only imitatable. You can't beat an original.